So how to connect the database via command line mode. Okay, via PC admin tool. Okay, so let's go to Linux part. Okay, in Linux there is a 3 methods are there. One is source code method, second is M method, third is RPM. So if anyone asks, okay, install Postgres on Linux platform, we have to choose any one of the method out of these 3. Okay, so today let's see how to install Postgres via source code method. Okay, once this is done, then go one by one. Okay, so so if we go Linux platform, okay, so for lab setup, we are using Oracle VMware. Okay, let's show you how to download and install Oracle VMware. You can see here. Okay, so download the Oracle VirtualBox. I will share this notepad file. Okay, so later after this session, you can go on trying to set up lab in your mission. So we have to download Oracle VirtualBox. Just copy paste this link. Okay, so copy and paste in Google. So you can see here. Okay, so VirtualBox 7.0. This is the latest version of VirtualBox application. So we have to use this 6.1. 6.1 is enough. Click on this 6.1. Okay. So this application where you are going to install Oracle VirtualBox on Windows only. So click on Windows first. So that this VirtualBox software going to download on my mission. So which version we are using? VirtualBox 6.1.46. Okay, this is how we are downloading Oracle VirtualBox application. So you can say the download complete. So just to open the go to the downloads, just double click on the software which we downloaded. It's asking admin credential, click on yes. Okay, so you can say, so click on next. Just so click on next. It will install the Oracle VirtualBox software. Okay, in my mission it's already existing, so it's asking repair or remove, means it's already installed in my mission. If doesn't install, just click on next. That's it. Okay, so this is how we are download and install Oracle VirtualBox software. Next, once install Oracle VirtualBox software, on top of Oracle VirtualBox, we have to create a virtual machine. How to create the virtual machine? You can see here, this is the document, this help. So after installation VirtualBox, you have to open the VirtualBox, click on new, create a new virtual machine. So here, next screen, you can say, let me, okay. You can say after installation of VirtualBox, just open the VirtualBox software, click on new. It's going to create a new virtual machine. So you can give any name, suppose mission 1. Okay, so where you want to save this mission 1 backend? Okay, what are the configuration files? Okay, where you want to store, where you want to keep this mission folder? So you can keep anywhere. Okay, I am using D folder. There is a VB is there, VirtualBox. For all the virtual missions, I can use same location, D folder VB, so that all the virtual missions will be there inside VB. So okay, here you can say, you can choose Oracle, Linux, Oracle. Type is the Linux. We are going to install Linux operating system on this virtual machine. So which operating system? Oracle Linux. So Oracle 64-bit. So click on next. So for each and every virtual machine, it needs some memory, at least 5 GB. Okay, you can keep 5 GB at least. Okay, so okay, I can say 5036. So means it's a 5 GB. Okay, click on next. So click on create, click on next, click on next. So here you can say where the mission configuration files, where it is created. Inside VB folder, there is a folder will be created, mission 1. Inside the mission 1, this is the configuration file .vdi. Don't disturb this path. Okay, so here we have to give the space, storage space for this virtual machine. So hard disk, how much you want to assign a storage space? Memory is different, storage space is different. Okay, suppose I want to assign 100 GB. Okay, so 100 GB or 120 GB, whatever. Okay, so click on create. This mission got created. You can say mission 1. After creation of virtual mission, for this mission, I have to attach the Linux operating system. Means I need to download the Oracle Linux software. We have to download the Oracle VirtualBox. Then we have to create the virtual machine by assigning memory and storage space. After creating virtual machine, here we have to download the Oracle Linux software and attach the Linux software into this machine. So how to download Oracle Linux software? You can see here, download Oracle Linux 6.9. Just copy this link, paste into Google. You can see here, there is a Oracle website is there. Here, all the versions. What is the latest version of Oracle Linux 9.2? Full ISO, boot ISO. You can say we have to download always full ISO irrespective of the versions. If you suppose we need 6.9 version, you can say 6.9 version is 6.9. Which ISO you need? Full ISO only. So we have to click on this ISO. This Oracle Linux software, the extension could be .iso. It's an image file. We need full ISO for 6.9 version. Click on this. It's going to download the Oracle Linux. Okay. So in your mission, it may ask Oracle Linux credential. If you don't have, you can register with the Oracle Linux. After registering, you can provide the username password, so that after giving username password, it will start the download for Oracle Linux R6U9. Means it's a 6.9 Linux software. Total is 3.8 GB. After download the Oracle Linux software, so how to install this Linux software on this top of mission? Go to the settings. You can see here. So there is a display storage. Here you need to assign. You need to attach the OS software. You can see plus add where it is located. Okay, you can see 6.9. You can see. Okay. So plus add where you keep the Oracle Linux software. You have to select the Linux software. After downloading, you have to select the software. You can click on select. You can say choose. You can say it's selected 6.9. Where it is located in my mission? It's a D drive, Oracle Linux software folder. Inside there is a Linux software. Inside Linux software, the .iso image file is there. I downloaded and I kept in D drive. So you have to select this Linux software ISO image file. So after selecting, there is some properties are there. Go to the network. Here you have to keep bridge adapter. Okay, what are the changes we need to? All the steps are there in the Word document. Like this, you can go and create a virtual machine. You can install Oracle Linux software. Okay. So you can say virtual machine created. Go to the settings. Here we have to choose the pointing device, USB multi-touch tablet. After that, we have to select the OS image file, click on plus symbol. Then you have to choose a disk. You can add the disk where you want to, where you keep the OS file in your mission. Okay, like this, go to step by step. You can install Oracle Linux. I will share there is a record is there, previous batch record, and I will share this document also. So while set up this, while installing Oracle Linux, if you have any queries, ping me in WhatsApp group, someone will help you. Clear? To set up the lab environment, any queries? Okay. So after, okay. Let me log in. Okay, after install Oracle Linux, so now I decided to install Postgres software via source code method. So you can say here in this Oracle Linux got installed. Let me open terminal. You can say how to find OS version /etc OS release. You can say 6.9 Oracle Linux server 6.9 got installed. Okay, so just its OS installed. What are the mount points are there? User 1, user 2, like this. Okay, just I am checking. Is there any already installed Postgres? No, it's not installed. So after installing Oracle Linux, don't install Postgres on top of the machine. You have to clone this virtual machine. If something goes wrong, again you can remove that mission. You can take again clone that mission. Clone means you can take the duplicate mission. On top of duplicate mission, you can try to install Postgres. If you don't take clone, if you try to install Postgres on top of original mission, if you don't have backup, that could be a problem. If something goes wrong, again we have to install Linux from scratch onwards. So that's why first we have to clone the mission. How to clone the mission? Stop the virtual mission. You can see here, clone. Right click on the mission, click on clone. So, okay, the mission name is I am keeping demo. So where you want to keep this mission backend? So D drive VB folder. You can keep anywhere. Click on next, click on clone. So I'm going to taking the duplicate mission, cloning of this virtual mission so that my backup mission is safe. If something goes wrong on top of the cloned mission, I can take again clone copy of my original mission. So that's why we can take the clone of original mission. Let's wait. Okay. Yeah, any queries? So you can say, okay, in Postgres, in Linux, there are some prerequisites are there in case of Linux platform. So what are the prerequisites required? What we need to verify before proceeding installation? If it is Windows, it's not required to verify any prerequisites. Just you can download and install the Postgres software. That's fine. But in Linux platform, if you go any method, either source code, either IM method, either RPM method, there is some prerequisites are there. We have to verify. The Postgres software, they developed based on C language. They developed based on C language. They developed based on C language. Okay, let me can say here. Okay, so these are the prerequisites we have to verify. So initially Postgres they developed based on C language only. So directly after installation, after download the Postgres for Linux platform. If you want to install Postgres on Linux platform, first we have to download the software for Linux platform. Yes, while downloading, we have to choose the operating system Linux. After downloading, we cannot install Postgres software directly because the downloaded software they developed based on C language only. Database, all RDMS products should be supported SQL language only. So we have to convert whatever the code is there in the C language, we have to convert C language to SQL language. How to convert? After converting, you can go and install. Before converting, you cannot install Postgres directly. So how to convert? If you want to execute any C language statement, what we require in C language? We require compiler. Yes or no? If you want to execute any C language statement, we require one compiler. So here also to convert from C language, whatever the Postgres existing the initially C language, to convert from C language to SQL language, C language to SQL language, we need a compiler. So here compiler is GCC. So GCC is the compiler. it will convert from all the existing code from C language to SQL language. If you don't have compiler, who will convert? Without convert, we cannot proceed. We cannot install Postgres. It's going to fail. So that's why these are the prerequisites required, and we have to verify. If the prerequisites are existing, then only you can go and install Postgres successfully, or else it's going to fail. So we come to know GCC. It's a one of the compiler. It should be existing before proceeding installation on Linux platform. So okay, we know GCC is the compiler. So the compiler version should be either 3.80, 3.80 or above. The compiler version should be 3.80. You can say one is need one compiler. The compiler name is GCC. The compiler compiler version should be greater than or equal to 3.80. So how to find whether it is compiler is installed or not? By using this command we can verify. Okay, so by using this command we can verify whether GCC installed or not. How to know my compiler version, which version is installed compiler? So using this command we can verify compiler version. It should be either 3.80 or above. If it is lower than 3.80, it's not working, it's going to fail. So these two are the mandatory prerequisites. If you have these two, then only you can go and install successfully. So these two are the optional prerequisites. These two are the optional prerequisites. Mandatory prerequisites are there, optional prerequisites are there. You can see. So mandatory means without these two we cannot proceed installation. If you proceed, it's going to fail. Okay, please go on mute. If you have any queries, okay, you can unmute and you can ask. Okay, so these are the mandatory prerequisites. So this is for verifying the GCC compiler installed or not. This is for to know the which version of GCC installed. Okay, any queries in this? Okay, so let's go to optional prerequisites. Okay, there is a read line. Okay, there is a zlib. So if you install zlib, we can take the database backup in zip format. That is the optional. If you don't have zlib, we cannot take the backup in zip format. Compressed backup. We cannot take the compressed backup. So how to know zlib is installed or not? It's a RPM. Any RPM. If you want to find the RPM installed or not, you can use this is the command RPM space -QA RPM name. Read line also one of the RPM only. GCC also one of the RPM file only. But what is the use of GCC? It's going to convert from C language to SQL language. After converting, you can go install. So read line, what is the use of read line? This is zlib, we know. If you have zlib, we can take the database backup compressed mode. If you don't have, we can take the backup. Yes, it's optional. Without these two also we can go and install Postgres successfully. Okay, read line. Suppose in Oracle, this is the database prompt. We know all or most of the things Oracle DBS are there. This is the Oracle database prompt. Suppose if I execute this table, create table emp id integer. So I want to say I execute this statement, create table statement. I want to say what is the previous execute statement. If you click on up arrow from your keyboard, it gives the same statement. This is the statement executed. It gives. If you installed read line RPM, then only when you click on up arrow from database prompt, you can get the previous executed statement. This is the statement executed previously. So if you don't have read line, it's not getting. It's not working up arrow, up and down arrow from keyboard. That is the advantage of read line. So these two are the optional. Without these two also we can go and install. Clear any queries in the verifying prerequisites part? For any method in Linux, we have to verify. These are the things we have to take care before proceeding installation. Clear? Okay. So if we are good with this, if we are good with this prerequisites part, we can go and start installation part. Suppose if you don't have GCC, suppose I verified there is no GCC. That time you have to raise a ticket with the Linux team. They have to install GCC RPM file and they hand over the mission to you. So if you don't find anything, any prerequisites part, so you have to check with the Linux team only. If you have rights, you can go and install. Most of the things we don't have, the Linux team will be maintained. All the Linux part administration, you have to check with the Linux team only. Okay, clear? Okay. So what are the steps we have to follow in case of Linux? In case of Linux, what are the prerequisites? Let me connect the Linux mission and first we will verify the prerequisites parts. Let me start this virtual mission. I am using, this is the mission. So this is how we are start and stop. Select the mission, click on start. Let it start. Meanwhile, if you have any queries, let me know. Okay, let me root Oracle. Okay, open terminal. If config, you can see here 0.107. Let me connect from putty itself. 192.168 0.107 root Oracle. Okay, let me close the other window. Let me increase the font size, appearance change, bold. Okay. Okay. Now this is a virtual mission. Just I hand over from Linux team. Okay, we have to verify prerequisites. RPM-QA GCC. You can see if it is installed, it gives the complete RPM file name. If doesn't installed, okay, you have to check with the Linux team in real time. In our case, while installing Linux operating system, you have to choose all the RPMs while installation, so that we'll get the GCC. Okay, so what is the version of this? Make-version. You can see here 3.81. Yes, it should be 3.80 or above. We are good with the mandatory prerequisites part. Okay, let me go and check optional prerequisites. RPM-QA zlib. Yes, optional also, zlib also it's installed. Let me check with other one. Read line. You can see the optional prerequisites are good. Mandatory prerequisites are good. Okay. So how to check the Linux version? You can say Oracle Linux 6.9 we are using. Okay. In this mission, I decided to install Postgres via source code method. Now I need to download the software. How to download the software for Linux platform for source code method. I decided source code method only. There is a 3 methods are there. We have to decide which method we have to follow. Source code method. When we can choose this source code method? Yesterday someone asking which one preferable method. So in the server, if you don't have internet connection, in the server, some due to security reasons, they disable the internet connection. So in that scenario, we have to use source code method or RPM method. In that scenario, if you don't have internet connection on the server, we have to choose source code method or RPM method. Let's go and download the software for source code method. You can see where we can download the software, postgresql.org. postgresql.org. You can see www.postgresql.org. For anything, if you want to see for information or anything for open source, we have to visit this website. Click on download. Okay. So which platform you have to download the software for Linux? Choose the Linux operating system. Click on source. You can say click on source because we are decided to install Postgres via source code method only. So you have to choose the operating system. You have to select this source left side. Means this is the software for source code method. So you can say which version we are using. Initially we can use 11. Okay. Later next method we are using 12 or 13. Okay. Somewhere you can say these are the versions. So suppose 11.7. I want to download this 11.7. Click on this. It's going to, you can see out of this we have to download this file. tar.gz file. It's a 24 MB file only. It's not like Oracle database software. So just click on this. 11.7 software going to download. So if you want to download into local system, after downloading local system, you have to copy the software via WinSP into server. Or if you have internet connection, you can directly download the software in the server itself by using link address. Copy link address there, wget command. Using wget command, you can download the software. You can see using. Okay. If you don't have internet connection, you can download the software into local system via WinSP. You can copy the software. Now I download the software in the server itself because I have internet connection. You can say ping google.com. By using this command, we can come to know whether it is internet enabled or not. Okay, it's like this output means the internet is enabled. So that's why by using wget command, it's internal, it's connected to this website. It's downloading. This is the file. You can say here downloaded PostgreSql download saved LL. Yes, the file got downloaded. When it is downloaded, you can see what is the date. Okay, it's October 5th. Okay, let me download why it's showing wrong date. R minus R. Oh, where it is. Okay, so this is the file, you can see. Okay, so once download the software, you want to copy in somewhere. Okay, suppose user 1 cp into user 1. I copied the software into user 1 location. Okay, this is the software I downloaded in the server itself. I copied into user 1 location. So after download the software, what are the steps we have to follow? You can say we copied step 3, we copied user 1 location. We verified all the prerequisites. Done. Okay. After copied the software into user 1, what are the steps? Next, untar the software. We have to, this is the tar file. How to untar the file? Tar minus xvf space this software file so that it's untar. After untarring, it's creating one more folder, PostgreSQL 11.0. Let me untar first. tar minus xvf. You can see. Let's wait. LL folder got created. After untarring, it's created one more folder. Okay. After untarring, we have to install the software. How to install the software? Go to the untar directory. We have to use these 3 steps to finish installation of Postgres software only. Let me. Okay. So download the software. Second. Okay. Untar the software. Next. Dot. Go to untar directory. /configure. Make install. This is for installation of Postgres software only. Okay. Once you complete install of Postgres software, once installed Postgres software, we have to create a cluster. We'll explain you what is the cluster difference between Oracle and Postgres. Can say, okay. So to install Postgres in Linux platform via source code method, we have to use these 3 commands. What is the use of configure? What it will do backend? What is the use of make command? What is the use of make install? Why we need to use these 3 commands? Configure is the command. When you execute this /configure, backend it is going to verify whether it is prerequisites are existing or not. It's going to verify. We know all the prerequisites existing, but system doesn't know. By using this command, when you fire this command, system can verify whether prerequisites all are existing or not. If any does not exist, if something is missed, it throws the error. So when you fire this command, it should be there is no errors in the last end of the configure command. If no errors, then go on to proceed next command, make command. What is the use of make command? It's going to convert from C language to SQL language. Here, when you fire the make command, backend there is a compiler. GCC compiler going to convert from C language to SQL language. What is the use of make install? After converting, we are installing the Postgres software. How to? Using make install. So it's installing software, Postgres PG software under default location. What is the default location of source code method? This is the /user local PostgreSql. This is for default home location for Postgres software. If you want to install Postgres via source code method, this is the default home location. So when you initiate make install, it is going to install the Postgres software default location, that is user local PostgreSql. Clear? Any queries in this part? Postgres. First, we have to install the Postgres software. To install the Postgres software, these are the steps we have to follow. Once install the Postgres software, we have to create a cluster. To create a cluster, what we require? We need one user. Need one directory to keep all the data files and the configuration files. Need one directory to keep all the data files and the configuration files. Suppose example, we are using user1 data. This data directory should be owned by Postgres user. Okay, means we have to use ch1-r Postgres : Postgres user1 data. This is how we are changing the owner of the. How to create the directory? mkdir-p/user1 data. Next, how to add the user? How to add the user? We need one user. So add user Postgres. So before creating the cluster, we required one user, one directory, and the directory should be owned by Postgres user. Before creating the cluster, we have to create a user, create a directory, change the ownership of that directory. If you have these three, then you can go and create a cluster. How to create a cluster? What is the utility we can use to create a cluster? initdb. All the utilities will be where it is placed under bin directory. Under bin directory. What is the bin location of source code method? /user local PostgreSql bin. This is the bin location of source code method. All the utilities will be located inside bin directory. So initdb is the one of the executable file which we can use to create a cluster. Yes. Any queries? Okay. So once create a cluster, how to create a cluster using this initdb? So what is the command? So full path of initdb, because we haven't implemented a environment variable, so we have to use full path of initdb -d, which directory you want to use to keep all the data files and the configuration files. I created a user1. So this is the command which we can use to create a cluster. Okay, clear? Once create a cluster, next step, start the cluster. How to start the cluster? Which utility we can use? pg_ctl, pg_ctl. So pg_ctl, by using pg_ctl, -d, which cluster services you want to start. This is the cluster data directory. People called as a, what is the cluster data directory? For this cluster, you use user1 data. So start. This is we are using to start the cluster. To stop the cluster, just you can replace, instead of start, you can keep stop. If you want to restart, you can keep restart. So this is the process we have to follow. First, we have to install the software, then create a cluster. For creating cluster, we require one user, one data directory. So what is the purpose of data directory? To keep all the data files and configuration files. Once create a cluster, you can start the cluster. So the installation of all the things you can follow, you can use with the root account only. This step with a root account only. Create a cluster. Yes, we have to switch to Postgres user. With Postgres user, we can create a cluster. Means you have to switch to Postgres user, then you can create a cluster. From second step onwards, we have to switch to Postgres user. We have to create a cluster. We have to start the cluster services. Once start the cluster services, how to know my cluster is running? Verifying whether cluster is running or not, or Postgres services are running or not. How to verify? ps-efa grep Postgres. This is the command to verify is there any Postgres services are running or not. Is there any clusters? How many clusters are running or not? So once everything is done, then I want to connect my database. How to connect the database? How to connect the DB? You can say one is command line mode. Second is GUI mode. GUI mode we are using pgadmin tool. Command line mode we are using PSPL. Okay. So these are the steps we have to follow and finish the installation of Postgres. Any queries? If no queries, we'll go and implement the practical.
If you want to change the default home location, then is there option to do it?
Yeah, yes. Initially, we can go with the default location. Later, we'll go and install the your own location. Yes, option is there.
Okay.
Any other queries?
You will show that one how to do change that different directory, or you are saying like just option is there?
Okay, let me. Okay, can say here. Okay, there is a configure right here. If you are not mentioning anything, directly you are executing this one. Means directly it's go and install default location. If you want to install your own location, hyphen prefix equal to user one Postgres software, Postgres underscore home. Like this, you can keep it. So that the Postgres software go and install in this location only. Clear?
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Postgres, our own location. This is for to install Postgres default location. Okay. We'll see anyway. Okay. In the next okay, first we'll see default location, then later we'll see, we'll show you. Okay. So let's go on okay. I enter, right? Okay, let me go to enter directory. So the installation will be done root account only. You can say configure. So /configure. Okay, so it's going to verify, checking means it's going to checking the all the prerequisites are good or not. If it is existing, it's fine. It doesn't throw any error. If doesn't something is missed, it throws the error. I can say there is no errors found. So we are good to proceed next step. So what is the next step? Make command, because the whatever the downloaded software, the software existing in C language code, we cannot install. The RDMS doesn't support C language. Whatever the RDMS products, it should support SQL language only. So we have to convert from C to SQL language by using make command. It takes 2 to 3 minutes based on the system configuration. Let's wait. Okay, so that's why you can keep each virtual machine, you can keep at least 5 GB, so that okay, the system will be speed up. In Windows, it's the installation software, the creation of cluster, everything is one step only. Next. You have to give the installation location, data directory, click on next. It will install the software, it will create the cluster, it will start the services also. But in Linux, the steps are individually we have to follow. First, we have to install the software, then create the cluster, then start the cluster. That we have to observe. can say in the last line, all of PostgreSql successfully made means successfully converted, ready to install. There is no errors found. So you should see the last line like this. Then we are good to proceed. Install the Postgres software using next command. Make install. It will install the software default location only. Let's wait. Can say PostgreSql installation complete. So what is the default location? Can say /user local PostgreSql. Can say inside this is the default home location for source code method. Inside the location, any method, inside the home location, there should be bin directory is there, there should be lib is there should be share is there. All the libraries will be there inside lib directory. All the executable files, what are those? initdb, pgctl, PSQL. PSQL is the utility which we can use to connect the database via command line mode. initdb is the utility which we can use to create a cluster. To stop and start the cluster services, we can use pg_ctl. These all the utilities will be there inside the bin directory. You can say here, initdb is the utility, yes, under bin directory, pgctl, PSQL. Like this, we can verify the installation succeed or not. Okay, now we need to create a cluster. To create a cluster, we need one user. We need one data directory to keep all the data files and the configuration files. So let me add user Postgres. You can say user added. Next, we have to create a one directory mkdir-p/user1 data. I am using /user1 data. This is the under user1, there is a creating directory data. Okay, this directory should be owned by Postgres user because we are going to create a cluster after switching Postgres user. So ch1 -r Postgres means user and group also same. I am changing the ownership. User is Postgres, group also Postgres. Done. So I have a user, I have a directory to keep all the data files and the configuration files. Now I am ready to create a cluster. So how to create a cluster? We have to switch to Postgres user. Yes. So which utility you can use to create a cluster? initdb. So let's use /user local PostgreSql bin initdb -d. Which data directory you are using to keep all the data files and the configuration files? Enter. Can say success means the creation of cluster is good. It succeeded. So you can start the database server using the command also they given. So you can use start. Server started, you can say. So for start the services, we are using PGCTL and a cluster data directory. So how to verify the cluster is running or not? Postgres. Can say. So these all are background process. This is the cluster installation, the software installation, bin location. This is the data directory, means there is only one cluster is running. The cluster data directory user1 data. Each and every cluster, these many background process are there. If you create another cluster, yes, there is a concept is the topic multi-cluster configuration. So we'll show you how to configure multi-clusters. Each and every cluster, these many background process started automatically. We'll discuss in the architecture part. So each and every background process, what is the purpose of each and every background process? How to if you kill this any background process, what will happen? We'll discuss one by one. This is the course content. Okay. So if I want to connect the database, simple PSQL. So directly connected Postgres database /L list of the databases. If you install anywhere, by default 3 database got created in Postgres. Postgres template 0, template 1. If you want to create your own database, create a database HRMS /L. You can say HRMS is added list of the databases. If you want to see the database using system table, PG underscore database. All the system tables, catalog views should be started with PG underscore. In Oracle, $V. Here, almost all the system tables will be started PG underscore database, PG underscore views, PG underscore constraints, PG underscore tables. Like this, we have system tables in Postgres. If you want to exit /q, you can say this is the OS prompt, this is the database prompt. So this is how we are install the Postgres via source code method. Any queries? Okay, so this is the course content. Okay, we'll share in the WhatsApp group. Okay, let me stop it. Record.